Oh, we got some audio for you. Where'd it go? Hold on one second. Here it comes. There you go. Stop right. And I've got the glare of an angel over my shoulder there, so I hope you enjoy that. That means I'm blessed this draft season. Hope y'all ready. Hope you're not in my league. Hey, this is Fantasy Boss. We got High Society here. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, man.
How you feeling during
Anytime.
How you feeling during draft season? It's that time.
Oh, there's nothing better in the world, is there? I mean, it just feels so great to be, in the middle of these drafts, and this is what you sign up for, man. When you do fantasy, is drafting is, to me, arguably as fun as the season. So I always like to, having that mindset of being a GM. So yeah, when you get in draft mode and when you get in the nitty gritty and the meat and potatoes, man, it's fun stuff for me. I love it.
But yeah, this is. I mean, I don't want to call it the high point of the season because the season just starts and you can't have it go all downhill from there. But
Yeah.
definitely one of the more fun times. All the research, all the homework, all the preparation. It's like a test you've been looking forward to, and you get to take it. And it sucks you can only take it 4 or 5 or 6 times. But yeah, I
Yeah.
love draft season.
Yeah, exactly. And you get to bond over it, and that's when you really get to just kind of shoot the breeze with everybody and have a good time with it. Kind of just shit on people's picks or to tell them good pick. It's it's nice for engagement and just being a part of a group and all that stuff too, man. So yeah, love it. Absolutely enjoy it immensely.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of drafts, we had our Boss League draft recently. Just want to get your thoughts and talk through some of that. Let me share my screen here and we'll go through this. I
Oh,
usually, if I'm not doing some kind of paid league or something, maybe there's like a home league with my friends, but those can be hit or miss, competitive wise. So I always look forward to like the more serious drafts with people who know what they're doing. And the Boss League was a fun way to, start the season off. It's my first draft of the draft season. I tend to do most of mine over the last week and a half or the
later.
next week and a half or so. Yeah. Where are we going here? Pull up the draft. Ooh,
That was a great time, man. Really enjoyed that group, and definitely just grateful to be a part of it. Really cool group of guys and gals.
yeah, we were blessed to have Amon Green come join us. That was super awesome. We're going to look through his team, look through our teams. Let's start with what pick did you have? You had a
7,
seventh pick? Okay.
lucky number 7.
Yeah, I had the fourth pick. So let's start with. Let me pull up just your team here. Bam! Look at that.
Yes, sir. I feel great about it, to be honest.
Yeah, so you start off with Amon Ross St. Brown. So how you feel about the seventh pick in general, and then what you did with it?
I think, at that point, if you can land arguably the safest wide receiver in the draft, with the 7th pick, I came out of it feeling really good. Like, I could afford to take some risk in other places or structure my team differently. Like, anytime you have that anchor piece where you can just bank on him every week, it feels good. So, yeah, nice, warm, safe blanket, and the sun god. And I felt really good about getting him at 7. I have no regrets, no regrets, no nothing about getting him at 7, man. I would do that any day.
So what do you mean one of the most reliable wide receivers? You're trying to say that JSN isn't up there too?
He's up there too, man. Yeah, he's absolutely up there. And he's in his prime. JSN, the sky's the limit with him. Like in a PPR league, he could just blow the roof off. You never know what the next level for him is. When he was at Ohio State, he was always a prodigy. They talked to Wilson and Olave and those guys, and they were like, "Who's the one though? Who's the guy in this room?" And they were like, "It's that young buck. It's JSN, man. He's the guy with the ceiling. He's the guy that can do the crazy things. He had that bowl game against Utah where you just set all kind of records with like 20 catches and 250 yards. Like just went totally nuts. So I love JSN. I think his ceiling, he could take it to another level. There's a lot of people saying, oh, they could have that Super Bowl hangover regression. It's like that's kind of baseless and honestly disrespectful to a guy who's been really good the whole way, man. He's incredible. He had to wait behind Metcalf and Lockett,
Yeah.
but outside of that, he's been productive everywhere he's been. Dude's a prodigy. So yeah, JSN you got to feel good about too. I would have smashed accept on him if he was there.
Yeah, I feel like the Super Bowl hangover, it's real to some extent. Their season's longer, their off season's shorter. Everybody's gunning for them. I feel like that's a team wide phenomena and maybe not position specific. And if it were position specific, I don't think it hits the skill players of wide receivers quite as much. So, yeah, a little bit less risk there for somebody coming off a championship run versus somebody who's taken more pounding along the way, getting those extra games
Yep.
in.
I love JSM. JSN. I have him over Puka. So yeah, certainly I believe that the ceiling for JSN is not even been hit yet. As scary as that sounds, so I really like him.
One game I like to play after the draft, we all like to go back and reanalyze and play the what if game. So I always like to see, where I picked in whatever round, and then see who went a few spots, a few picks after my pick to see if I would have done something differently in hindsight. So, that game is not as maybe productive in the first couple rounds, but it gets more fun in the later rounds. But let's play a few rounds of this.
Yeah,
So
I'm down, man.
The fourth pick, Allen, Puka, AS. Well, you got ASB. Yeah, I think I'm happy with JSN, given who went behind me. Well, what about you with ASB? So you got some big running backs going right behind him. Do you wish you would have taken him back instead?
I was on the clock for a second. I was deciding between him and Taylor there. Definitely had to think about it for a second. Taylor has such a safe floor again. Maybe a little bit more in the area of injury concern there. He's had some miles on him and things over the years, but I ultimately decided on the really safe floor play. With Amon-Ra. But yeah, I was definitely torn on him and Taylor, but I don't regret it. I would take Amon-Ra again. Probably like 95 out of 100 times. I would look to probably take Sun God over Taylor. But certainly to get that running back early is nice. I was playing with fire a little bit, so I was able to recover it. Had my rest of my draft gone differently, I may feel differently about it. But with the way things went, I really am happy I took Amon-Ra there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see too often people triple up on wide receiver in the first 3 rounds, but you tripled it up and then tripled up RBs right behind it.
Yep, bingo. I knew it's exactly what I had to do. As soon as I took Rice, I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to have to absolutely recover from this. But the name of the game, like we've said on a lot of the past episodes, is value. And you can't pass on value. You can't pass on a great player at one position, especially when I still needed that to fill that flex spot. So three receivers, are very much in play. I don't normally look to do that. It's not like a common strategy of mine, but when it runs a certain way, I'm comfortable trying to go on the fly. And I thought that those receivers I couldn't pass up those three. Man, that's such a good trio. Like just alpha target hogs. I had to go do it, man.
Mm-hmm. And this is I was just looking at our roster settings. This is a 2 receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex spot league. So you got quite a bit of depth there. Yeah, it's not a bad problem to have.
Exactly. And then I sort of, overcompensated for running back with, I grabbed obviously Judkins, Bucky, and then, okay, cool, let's sure it up with another big upside smash with Price. And then, cool, let me grab Corum a couple rounds later, who I think, takes another step forward, had over 700 yards rushing, was one of the most efficient running backs in the entire NFL. I think he was like the 3rd most in explosive run rate. So I think that Corum has a little bit more meat on the bone. So, yeah, I felt really good, about getting those guys. I got Likely kind of late. I was really happy about that. Bob, I thought Bob was sweating that. I thought Bob might get him on me there, but yeah, it worked out good, man.
Let's come back to that. Let's play some more of this game. Let's see here. So you're happy with your ASB pick. Let's see what comes back around. So we would have went this way. Then it's your turn right here, which means you could have picked the people going over here. So anybody in hindsight you would have picked over AJ? Would you have taken Saquon or Genty looking back?
No, nope. AJ is my guy. He's my favorite wide receiver in the 2nd round. I would be comfortable taking him, as soon as literally like 2-2. I know I've actually got him top 5 on my redraft rankings. I'm really high on AJ Brown this year. So, yeah, I was comfortable. That was a smash for me. That was a no-brainer, even though I would have liked a running back or something, just on the principle of getting a good one early. You can't pass on a guy that I think is going to probably have just an absolutely enormous year, well within his prime. 29 years old, coming over. I think it's the best situation he's ever been in. So, dude's a stud, man. I was happy to book A.J. Brown there. I was really happy to get him there.
Yeah, and looking how this played out, I am very happy I took Kenneth Walker there. The running backs dried up real quick after that pick.
Mm-hmm.
It was another, 7 picks actually back to me before another one was taken, but there wasn't very many backs taken for that, those 2 rounds there. And as we all know, those are your foundation for most fantasy teams and most leagues and scoring types. So happy to get Walker. While I wish Mahomes the best in his recovery, we all know how much Reed in recent years has loved to run that damn ball. So sign me up, especially if Mahomes is not going to be, the Mahomes of younger years. Let's go ahead and feed that Walker beast. So very
Yep.
happy there.
Love that. That was a great pick for you, dude. Like I thought at the time, those first two picks were golden. I think you absolutely smashed those two. Just glorious picks. I think Walker, in terms of upside, and what they're going to want to do. Andy Reid has been missing a guy like that. Throwback to like the Shady McCoy. Like he's had these guys where he loves to utilize one really good RB. But he hasn't, had the privilege of doing that because he hasn't had, the pedigree of guy that he wants. So they've had to kind of mix and match with Pacheco and those guys. And now he's got his guys. So I really think K9, firmly that arrow is pointed straight up, man. So, yeah, great pick there, dude. That was definitely the last of, the running backs that deserve to go in that range.
Yeah, I mean, KC doesn't have quite the fireworks system or show they had in years past. Even with them scoring 21 points a game, 20 points a game, a couple of those are going to be rushing more often than not. So, yeah, give me a nice piece of that offense. Very excited about that.
Yeah, he'll play third downs too, man. He'll get those pass catches. You'll be feeling really good. He can have those massive box scores where he's just like single-handedly winning you weeks.
Let's see, that came back around to me with the Williams pick. I am a Cowboys homer. I like to get a piece of the offense every year. Depending on where, how much I've got to pay, I don't usually get a Pickens, a CD, or a Williams. They usually are off the board before they come back around to me, but this one worked out just right. I prefer to get two running backs in the first 3 rounds if I can help it, preferably with one of my first round picks. In this case, JSN was too good to pass up, so I needed to go ahead and grab another one. And looking who went behind me, I mean, a ton of stud receivers. ETN, I'm not mad that I missed out on him. I knew he wasn't going to be there. I'm also happier to take Williams. I think there was so much wide receiver depth in this draft pool this year that I wasn't mad at taking a running back and coming back around and get another one. So no regrets there.
None. I would take Javonte over Kyron, who went in front of you. So, yeah, I don't mind that Williams pick at all, even if it was, like, slightly kind of a homer pick. Like, it also makes sense in terms of what you want. He's such a safe player. Like, barring injury or something unforeseen, I would think he's a shoo-in to finish top 15. Like, I don't really see a world where he doesn't if he plays.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, health's always key. But, yeah, if health is – it's funny. If Kyron would have been there, I was thinking, man, do I want Kyron? Am I going to go one of these stud receivers? It would have been a much harder choice than taking the hometown pick.
Yeah, I like Javonte, man. Super, super safe, and I think he's a perfect combo with Walker because Walker has that sort of like big range where he gets, banged up or whatever, and he could have a lower floor than some of the other guys, but his ceiling is so sky high, so, Walker could be as good as anybody. So Javonte really stabilizes that running back room for you. So I think all things considered, that really might have been a really perfect pick for you, given your first 2 picks.
Let's see, you came back with. You got, you got Rice there. Who went behind him? Got Devonta, got ETN. Let's see here, Brees Hall. So a few running backs. Anything? I mean, you went and took 3 running backs. So I'm guessing you're good with Rice. How you feel about that? Looking at this.
Yeah, I would be comfortable taking Rice at least like 4 or 5 spots higher than where he went. So
okay.
That's one of those things where, I know everybody's like, he looks a little rusty. Oh, it's like, yeah, but he had that scope and you knew he might be just a little rusty. And he's never been like a burner, even dating back to college. He's really good in yak situations, really good. The run after catch, but he's not necessarily like a burner. So the fact that he's out here and guys are like clowning him for not being like a vertical, he looks like he's not going so fast. It's like, that's just not his game anyway. So he's still a target hog, on a per game basis, on a per play basis. He's targeted so heavily, and the next guy in line is who they have Worthy there. Kelsey's a little bit older, probably looking at his, last year right now. And so, he should have the majority, between 25 and 30% of targets in that offense, and I'll take that any day in the middle of the 3rd round, man. Sign me up for that for sure. And the NFL already said, came out and said there will be no, further disciplinary actions based on what's happened in the past. So that you feel at least somewhat good about that. A little bit of the risk has been alleviated with that. So yeah, at that point I'm comfortable, man. Just rolling the dice. I love his upside. I have a hard time passing that up.
Let's see what we got here. We had 4 running backs. get taken, 4 running backs and 4 or 5 receivers get taken before your next turn. So at that point, you've already got 3 receivers. So, I mean, there's probably no chance, little to no chance you're taking another receiver. Were you surprised to see Judkins still there waiting for you?
No, that was kind of my plan all along. Was basically come back and grab ETN or Judkins at that pick. I had it in my mind. I picked Rice. I said, okay, looks like some of these guys, they got Achane. They had a couple other running backs or whatever. So I was like, let me go ahead. I'm going to take Rice. He's the best pick here, and I'm going to turn around and grab who's left between ETN and Judkins. Happen to be Judkins, which I'm thrilled about. Everybody knows I love his game, so I was super, super happy to grab him in round 4. And I knew that there was a couple other guys I had eyes on, in the next few rounds. So really, really love how that played out there. As soon as I took Rice, I was like, all right, it's a little risky. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable, and until I can clean up the running back situation. But Judkins, had me feeling quite a bit better.
Yeah, he'll do that for you. Let's see here. So I came back around, and at this point, I've got 2 running backs and 1 receiver. My goal is always to, especially with the receivers and tight ends, try and get a piece of a high-scoring offense. And yeah, it was too tempting to pass up Burden there.
Dude, killer pick, man. You already know what I'm going to say. That was a phenomenal pick at that point. You just had that safe Javonte Williams pick. You cleaned up, your whole running back room was in great shape. Allows you to just take a swing for the fences with a guy like Burden, and I think that was such a good pick for you. And he's a wild card. Like, he could come out and be top 10, top 5, top whatever, and he could be a league winner for you. And where you got him, it wouldn't hurt if he wasn't. So, Just phenomenal pick, dude. Really, I love it there.
And looking at who's taken behind him, I thought about DJ Moore. I mean, maybe not the most explosive player these days, the highest upside, but super high floor, and with the number 1 quarterback in the league, not bad to have his number 1 dude there. Terry Mack I like, but who knows with Washington? I feel like year in, 1 year he's phenomenal, 1 year it's too much of a roller coaster ride. Jalen in Denver, I don't know. I feel like the Denver offense sometimes, same thing. It's kind of hit or miss. I need more consistency from the quarterbacks and the receivers I draft this high. So Burden, while maybe not the safest pick, the upside too high, that offense, sky high. I mean, so yeah, very, very pleased with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Came back around, and I struggle with this one. I was thinking about waiting until the later rounds and picking up your boy Tyler Shuck there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, getting a top 3 QB in the 5th round after Allen went in the 1st round, it's like, man, I couldn't pass it up. And then it's funny, as soon as I picked that, 2 more went right behind me. But
right.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have been mad looking at this now, getting Bucky there, or even David Montgomery, because there's so many good quarterbacks going late. And so I don't know. I'm not mad at the May pick, but I think I probably could have held out a couple rounds, and I ended up getting, Stafford in the 9th round. I could have started him and been happy. So, hindsight's 2020. But yeah, I think I should have went probably Bucky or Montgomery there. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it could go either way. I actually think that that's a good spot to grab May. I feel like, as you get to the mid and the late 5th, it's a spot where I'm certainly comfortable, in mocks and everything else. Like May, he had the QB2 finish, and then they added A.J. Brown. So that offense should really be rolling. And I think that May could take another step forward, which is even scary. So when you factor where, like, Lamar and Allen and them go, and then you're able to grab 4 guys in front of May so that it's nice. You already have most of your lineup set.
Yeah.
I think that May was a good pick there, to be honest. Like, could you have gone Bucky and then maybe, worried about quarterback later? Yeah, definitely. But, where it stands, May feels like a good pick to me. Like I said, it could go either way. I wouldn't beat myself up, certainly, especially when you factor the quarterbacks went right after. So you did hit on him just before a run where he almost certainly would have gone with the very next pick or so. So I feel good about that, and you were able to come around after that and make plenty of good picks after. So I feel like that was the right pick for your team, and he's a heck of a good player, man. Certainly top 3 quarterback in most rankings. The 1-1 in a lot of dynasty super flex rankings. So man, oh man, I feel like that's solid. Like you could risk it, take the running back, wait, but you got your guy. I like that you got your guy there. I think that's a good pick for you.
Yeah, and this is the fun part of drafting, right? Is the team composition, because it's not just about what pick you get; it's how you put that team together.
Exactly.
And so while I'm not mad at the pick. Don't get me wrong; he's a fantastic quarterback. It did ended up working out nicely because once I got him out of the way, it freed me up to go and be aggressive and get some more upside picks after that because it was my QB spot was settled. So let's see here. Yeah, I got a run of three high-end quarterbacks, four of them right after, including the one after you. So you
Exactly.
went running back, which looking at your lineup construction, I don't think there was any chance you were taking a quarterback there, no matter who was available. Yeah, I mean it makes sense.
Yeah, that was the way I had it in my head. My head's always just moving a million miles an hour. I'm like, okay, look, I got this planned out. I'm going to go this, especially when I'm kind of flirting with, being in murky waters with that, with the running back position. I kind of was like, all right, time to overcompensate. I got my stud receivers. Let me just load up on running back. And I had a tight end and quarterback planned for later. So, yeah, I was comfortable just absolutely going RB and wide receiver heavy in the first six.
Let's see what happened after Bucky here. A good spread of picks. Couple QBs, a running back, tight end, receiver, and then back around to you, and you went with another running back, Jadarian Price. So, out of curiosity, I should have. I don't know if I announced this before our draft. It was two receivers, two running backs, and one flex. But I feel like looking at some people's rosters, I feel like they thought it was maybe three receivers and one flex. So, did that factor in?
No, no. It's tough because in one quarterback leagues, I try to wait on quarterback and tight end, like I was saying. But yeah, a guy like Price at that point where I waited for running back and Bucky has a few question marks. I just really wanted to kind of shore that position up, and I really wanted to swing for the fences with my RB3 there, so that I could even if Bucky didn't pan out, I got this guy waiting in the wings who could literally be a league winner. So yeah, it didn't really change that for me. Even if he's the first off my bench rather than a weekly starting flex guy. I'm totally good with that because one, injuries are inevitable, and two, certain guys can flop. So I didn't feel good enough about my running back situation
Yeah,
to pass on him there. I felt like he made me really much stronger than I thought I could be after the first three rounds. So I felt good about him there, really.
yeah. No, it's you can't have enough running backs. It's the one position where it's just give them all to me.
Yeah, exactly. And in that range, he's one of the last guys where I really feel like his ceiling is super high. They're sitting him out the next preseason game, even though he's healthy now. So obviously that's indicates that they value him, with that starting unit. And Charbonnet has not been activated on the PUP. Obviously, it's unclear whether he's gonna, but it's so close to the season, we would know if he was going to be out there week one. So, yeah, I feel really good about getting Price, where I did, considering his upside.
Oh, for sure. Well, let's see here. I came back around with old Carnell Tate.
So good.
Yeah, I like the pick. I was thinking, do I need to grab another receiver who, with our current roster construction, I guess he would definitely go on my flex spot. But I generally like to fill in my tight end before flex. But, that value was too good to pass up. And then, luckily for me, Fannin was there, who I was thinking about taking that first time around.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he fell right in my lap. So that was picture perfect. So, very
Phenomenal,
happy.
dude.
Yeah. What is Fannin the number two tight end, number three?
He's well, no. So I mean, a lot of people have him ranked. So normally it's Bowers, McBride are the two, and then there's Loveland and Warren, and then there's normally Fannin and Pitts are right there too. So,
Okay, so 4
yeah,
or
he's
5.
right around that 5 range, 6 range. But yeah, dude, he's a phenomenal player to be getting that late in the game. Last year as a rookie, he had 70 some odd catches, 72 catches, and paced that offense. He was the headliner there. So. Yeah, I think that he's a great value, man. Some people reach and take him. I've seen him go plenty higher than that. So I would feel great about those two picks where you got Tate. I've seen him go in the early 5th. I've seen him go in the mid 5th. So to get him where you got him in the 6th is just he's all upside. And he had,
Yeah.
what was it, multiple touchdowns on the Bears, joint practice today with Tennessee and the Bears. And so he was balling today. I love Carnell Tate in redraft at that point in the 6th round, man. That's just stealing.
Yeah, yeah, didn't cost anything. I feel like only the top 5 rounds really cost me anything in the draft, and then from the 6th round on, I don't care quite as much if the pick's a bust.
Yeah, exactly.
Just,
No, you killed it, dude. Absolutely smashed it. I think you had a really good draft.
and just looking at some of these names that go so late in the drafts, like man, Jordan Addison in the 10th round. Hubbard's got some great upside in the 11th round.
He does, man. Yeah, smashing those picks, dude. I like that. Yeah, Broncos D there.
Yeah, Jaden, Quentin Johnson, man, some good picks.
Yeah, there's a lot of upside there. Even my guy there. I think Trey Tucker had. I looked real quick at the Raiders box score. He was with the starting offense. First of all, he rested last week, and all the other receivers played, so that indicates that they kind of value him as the best piece there. And then he came out today, and I think he had 3 catches on the first 7 or 8 plays on offense for 3 catches for 25 yards for Trey Tucker. So I'm like, yeah, man, let me take that guy on, late and see if he can really hit. And yeah, there's so many good options. That's the funnest part, of the draft is late, where you get to take your guys, and especially in this kind of draft where we have a lot of big names, a lot of guys that know what they're talking about and doing. So you get to put your stamp on it, and it's fun to see, what everybody chooses to go with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had one person go on auto pick, and they ended up with a bunch of QBs. But other than that, I think most people ended up with pretty competitive teams.
Yeah, everybody else, you gotta show up and draft your teams, or you might be in trouble. Anytime you rely on auto pick, you can't feel good. So yeah, I think everybody else really showed up and did what we expected them to do.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of these teams side by side. A lot of good quarterback, running back pairings here.
Yeah, Addison drafted well. I know we were talking about Addison's team looked really good, and Andy Barron's had a really good team. I was telling him, during the draft, I really like what he was doing there. You got Parker Washington and plenty of other guys that we were kind of sniping each other a little bit, from sort of separate ends of the draft. But he did really well. I like his team too.
Yeah, Herbert,
another guy I like. Yeah,
Drake, Pickens, Kelsey. Okay.
Yeah, he had a good team. Terry, I think he got Pat Bryant on me too. Man, I didn't think anybody would. So, yeah, man, it's funny because I always, when I was 10 years ago, I always looked at his videos and stuff. So I already knew he would show up, and it was just funny. He was aiming for so many of the same guys I was and stuff. So it was really cool, to go back and forth and see that.
Yeah, wasn't that cool being able to draft with him?
Yeah, man, he's a good guy. So, just grateful to be a part of it. And this league is super neat. And the draft itself and the platform and everything looks really good. And just, look at, it looks so clean, dude. Like, how can you hate that, man? Looks beautiful.
It's coming along nicely. And, it's fun to be able to draft with everybody on there and do it on something that's bright and shiny and new. And, looking forward to this season.
Absolutely. Yeah. It felt great to get out there and just, to be just chopping it up with you guys and, and Amon and all these, Howard. Everybody was super cool, man. Really, really love the group and the dynamic and everything. So I look forward to an extremely competitive league and just see what we're all made of. And I like both of our teams, man. I feel really good about where we're at, dude. So
I'm going to be looking at this lineup over and over again.
It's really good, dude. I feel like you killed it. Personally, I know there's a couple guys I like on there. Addison has been hitting it off with Kyler in camp.
I'm telling you, man, Jefferson's getting traded this year. It's going to be the Addison show.
Yeah, it could definitely happen. I would never rule that out, dude. So, yeah, I love your team. I think you've got one of the – in terms of upside and what you've got there, man, that upside is sky high. And you talk about Fannin and you got Tate. You got Burton, JSN super, your running backs. You got a top 3 quarterback. You got so many boxes checked, man. And if you can, barring injury, barring anything, but your depth's even good too. So, yeah, man, I would feel great. I love your team, man.
Let's see High Society's team here.
Yeah, buddy.
That little avatar.
Yeah, I know it.
That's pretty good.
It is good. Yep, the thicker beard. I was like, oh, cool. They gave me some props on that.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why I like looking at team rosters like this versus draft results. It's just easier for my brain to compute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get to look it up and down and the order. And I love waiting to get Lawrence. I know I said that during the draft, but yeah, Lawrence. You wait. I get my guy Likely, who I view as a really high upside. Later tight end target. So, and then the bench. I love my bench. Price, Downs, Corum, Diggs. Diggs is a late guy with big upside. I think in PPR leagues and 0.5 PPR and everything. Jake Ferguson. I waited for tight end, and I got 2 that I feel like could crack the top 12. So
yeah.
I know Ferguson's probably your guy too. So yeah, I feel like I got him really late. So I love it, man. I love that draft. I've been targeting Borregales too, New England's kicker. I think they've got a good offense. So yeah, love it. Love getting Rice, that late in the third and stuff. My receivers, I'm so happy about my receivers.
How you feel about this? Commissioner changes after the draft. I'll put this one on me. I meant to have 3 receivers. I just didn't click the box, the setting one more number higher. So what if I changed it and added the third receiver slot now? Is that a no-no, or you think folks would be fine with it?
That would probably have to come down to a vote. I think that probably would have had to been in there when people were drafting, just because that'll change the strategy. It would favor somebody like me, so of course I would say, yeah, cool. Like I loaded up on receivers anyways. But I think a lot of people would be like, I might not have taken as many running backs here and there, after the fact. But we could certainly ask. Couldn't hurt to ask. But definitely would have to be, a potential vote situation if we were going to even suggest it.
That's fair. Who do I play first this week? Let me see here. Who do I play? Michael's team. Ooh, yeah, sorry, making some updates here.
Yeah, look at that. The Avatar pumping his fist up there.
Yeah,
he's about to get eaten by that half animal, half dude.
Yeah.
That's mean as hell. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, my poor computer's struggling. I need to plug it in. Just sluggish. Okay, so who did I play this first week? Okay, I'm feeling good about QB, feeling good about RB, feeling good about one of my receivers. So he's got me on tight end. Flex, maybe a toss-up.
Flex, you probably got it. I know Travion's been a little banged up. We'll see if he bounces back soon. But I would feel a little better about Tate than I would about Henderson right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, season open soon. Hope y'all ready.
Yeah, hope so, man. Get in here. Get your leagues going. Definitely get in and mock. At the very least, get in, check it out, mock. Super clean interface. Beautiful looking app. Puts a lot of the other ones to shame, in my opinion. Might be biased, but super cool. Really enjoyed the draft, and hope you guys feel the same way. So yeah, definitely be tracking that Boss Cup. So we'll have plenty to show you guys.
And I know switching platforms can be hard or annoying sometimes. So if you're not ready to switch just yet, come join the Boss Cup. It's a free season-long challenge. Basically, join one of the pre-made leagues, 12-team, half PPR. Compete across the season, and then we're going to crown one overall champion across all these leagues. So come test it out, and then if you love the platform, you can import your league anytime. We're looking forward to building something with y'all.
You got it. Yeah, if you guys are creating leagues, man, and you know me on Instagram or whatever, you want me in there, hit me up. I'll join any Fantasy Boss league with you, and we'll get cranking and have a good old time. So I look forward to it, and being a part of it, and just feel really good about the whole thing, man.
Hey, y'all, take it easy. We'll get with y'all soon. Hey, let's get some
sir.
music and get out of here.
Let's do it up, man.
Hey, let's get it right this time.
We're going places, bro. We're going places.